Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, I want to analyze some mainstream mass media articles, and I will start with one from Yahoo News by now I don't know how this is pronounced, but I will try Niam Kavanagh, March 1st, 2022, and it's titled UN Diplomats Walk Out of Speech by Russian Foreign Minister, which is Sergei Lavrov. And we read here that more than 100 UN diplomats from 40 nations walked out when Russia's foreign minister began to speak at the Human Rights Council on Thursday. So it says here that diplomats from the United States, the European Union, and the UK abruptly left their seats and the UN in Geneva, while envoys from China, Venezuela, and Syria were among those who stayed seated. So, um, when someone has when someone has a quarrel with someone else in a family or in the neighborhood, and there's a disagreement, then you have a the best way to solve the disagreement is to keep in touch with that person to talk to discuss. If there is nothing to discuss, so you just uh, refuse to talk, that means everything is on the table, which you can't repair something if you do not communicate. That is the minimum requirement for solving any issue in a family, in a neighborhood, at school, at work, wherever you go. If you don't communicate, or if you stop communicating, then certainly I don't know what ways of what's else to be used. Force, what is it if you don't communicate? And this act of uh, late teen indignation, which you see in teenagers when they take their toys and leave the room. Not even a toy, not even teenagers, but childlike behavior, infantile. You know, I don't like what's going on here. I'm going to take my toys and I'm just going to go back home. So basically, this is the behavior. Now, why is this behavior uh, put in practice? Usually, it's kind of a blackmail, where you tell the other person that if you don't change your behavior, I disagree with your behavior, and I don't want to talk to you. So until you change your behavior without discussing it or having some open doors, I will not talk to you. So there is a arrogant way of dealing with other people, because that could imply that you are somehow morally superior to not discuss or communicate with the other person who might do something wrong, and you do not drop your level to their level. So basically, you just I'm better than you. I think I'm perfect. I'm gonna take my toys and my little minions around me, and we're gonna walk that way. By the way, there were 40, not 39, 940, not 41, exactly 40. Well, that's one thing. The other one is uh, how many countries are on this planet? It's not 40, not 80, not 160. It's about 190 uh, countries. So if divide 190 uh, by four, well, it's about not even, not even, let's say a fifth, almost between a fifth and a quarter of the countries walked out. So that's a minority, if you want to take it that way. So the rest stayed over there. So I know that justice and being right, it doesn't depend on majority. You can be one against 1,000, and you could claim something, and the other 1,000 can claim something else, and you might be right. So I know that in United States, I encountered this idea that if we have this opinion and we are more in this group than you, we must be right because of the number. So they try to put democracy in reality, in facts and evidence and and arguments, which no, it's again infantile. So these guys took their toys and walked out, which is fine. That's whatever. But who's going to talk to them again? I mean, that's the way you solve a problem. Let's imagine you're in a family with your wife and you have a little verbal altercation, and then all of a sudden I just turn around and say, you know what, I'm leaving, going to. I'm not even telling you when I'm going, and I'm not talking to you. And I take my kids with me because the kids don't like you either, but the rest of the kids stay with you or something. It's and then this article mentioned. You see how these articles are made. They mentioned three countries here, right? Three countries that remained with Russia, which was China, Syria, right? That those were the countries, and Venezuela. Now, for the American reader who's going to read this piece of article, all these three countries have a bad connotation. Syria is Assad, and we just fought ISIS over there, and that dictator who gassed his own people is still in power. That's how the story goes in this country, just so you know, for people who live outside the United States. The other one is Venezuela, where they eat dogs right now, and they lost 50 pounds on average per individual for a adult person, and they are communists and they're bad, even though they have oil, but they don't say about the embargo and so on. And then China, who is a communist country, and all those guys who are gonna take over the United States, which eventually they will, because they're more methodical and use their brain and logic. These guys are losing those um, faculties. So they mentioned three. I'm surprised this guy did not mention Iran, but probably he's not aware. He doesn't have such a broad, general knowledge of countries to mention Iran. I think he just missed Iran. He should have put it over there, or whoever. I don't know. Venezuela is right there. So this is how this is expressed. Now, I know that other countries walked out on other countries before and so on. Could be a temporary thing, but this comes to say and to show who are the countries, because it says here United States, European Union, and UK. So this group, and in Europe there's more than 40 countries. I think it's like 42 or something like that. So, and I know that there must be some other countries from other regions of the planet. If I look deeper in here, uh, I see, well, they call them, a bunch of criminals and so on, but Russians, and that's not a productive way of communicating and negotiating and so on. And as I said, this moral indignation, it's an exemplification of a late teen, who think that they're better than the other ones, so they're gonna just show you, uh, teach you a lesson. That would be it. And if you look at other past incidents where these guys that walked away were involved, and even worse, incidents than what's happening over there, which is bad. There's no doubt about that. Then it makes you feel like these guys are just hypocrites. Well, just an analysis of this article, just to see how it's interpreted. Like the 40 countries are the most important countries, and then these guys walk and they're all very happy about themselves. They're gonna go home, have some wine, have some sex, and in the morning they feel like they are reborn in their like phoenix, like in their new idealistic cloth. Well, That's all I have for this little article, and I'll go to a next one in a minute. So stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See ya in a minute. Ciao.